Good morning, friends. I am Manigandan. Welcome you all on behalf of Manigandan IAS Academy. Today, it is a very influencing session. Hereby, let me congratulate Ms. Sharanya, who secured All India rank 36 in UPSC examination. So it is a tremendous, we appreciate her hard work and perseverance in this field consecutively for 4 to 5 years of term, right? She understood the strategy and how to crack the examination in a stipulated time, right? So here, this is a platform which would be immense helpful to you so as to acquire the strategy, what she did for her examination, and so acquire the knowledge, acquire the experience, so that that can be implemented in your future course of action, right? ஸோ இதை ரொம்ப நீங்கள் வந்து உன்னிப்பாக அவங்களோட அனுபவத்தை நீங்கள் கவனித்து அதை வந்து உங்களோட வாழ்க்கையில் இனி வரக்கூடிய ஃபியூச்சரில் நீங்கள் வந்து இந்த எக்ஸாமோட மெயின்ஸ் இன்டர்வியூ as well as அதர் ஃபேஸஸ் ஆஃப் எக்ஸாமினேஷன் ஏன்னா அதுல எல்லாம் நீங்கள் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இட் இஸ் அ ட்ரெமெண்டஸ் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. டோன்ட் மிஸ் ஈவன் சிங்கிள் ஃப்ராக்ஷன் ஆஃப் செகண்ட். ஸோ இதை ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கவனித்து நீங்க வந்து பயன்படுத்திக்கோங்க. உங்களுக்கு என்னென்ன கொரீஸ் உண்டுனாலும் ஸோ அவங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து அவங்களோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ், அவங்களோட இந்த ப்ராசஸ்ல இந்த ஹேர்டில்ஸ், ஹவு டு கிராக் ஜியோகிரபி அஸ் அன் ஆப்ஷனல், அதுக்கு நம்ம இன்ஸ்டியூட் எந்த அளவுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது, அதே போல ஹவு டு கிராக் ப்ரிலிமினரி அஸ் வெல் அஸ் மெயின்ஸ், ஜிஎஸ் ஜெனரல் ஸ்டடீஸ், அப்புறம் ஹவு டு கிராக் இன்டர்வியூ, ஏன்னா இந்த 3 விஷயங்களும் இன்னைக்கு உங்களுக்கு ஷேர் பண்ண போறாங்க. ஸோ ஆஃப்டர் ஷேரிங் ஹர் ஓன் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ், உங்களுக்கு என்னென்ன டவுட்ஸ் இருக்குதோ அதை வந்து த்ரூ கொரீஸ் மூலமா நீங்க அவங்கள்ட்ட ஷேர் பண்ணி, நீங்க வந்து த்ரூ சேட் மூலமா நீங்க அவங்களுக்கு ஷேர் பண்ணி நீங்க அவங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து அவங்களோட அனுபவத்தை நீங்க பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளலாம். சரிங்களா? ஸோ திஸ் வுட் பி அ வெரி எலேட்ஃபுல், வெரி கிரேட்ஃபுல் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி, வெரி ஒண்டர்ஃபுல் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. பயன்படுத்திக்கோங்க. இட் இஸ் அப் டு யுவர் ஹேண்ட். ஏன்னா உங்களோட இதுதான், உங்களோட எண்ணம், உங்களோட எந்த அளவுக்கு இந்த ஃபீல்டை நீங்க சீரியஸா எடுத்து ஒர்க் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது, ஒர்க் பண்றீங்க அப்படின்ற விஷயங்கள் இதை பொறுத்து தான் இருக்குது. இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்மை எந்த அளவுக்கு பயன்படுத்துறீங்க அப்படின்றத பொறுத்து இருக்குது. சரிங்களா? ஸோ let me once again congratulate Ms. Saranya, as well as let me invite her on behalf of you. ஏன்னா உங்களுக்காக நான் அவங்கள இப்ப உங்களுக்கு முன்னிலையில அறிமுகப்படுத்துகிறேன். அவங்கள இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணி அவங்களுக்கு அனுபவத்தை அவங்க இப்ப ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ லெட் மீ இன்வைட் மிஸ் சரண்யா. ஏன்னா சரண்யா, உங்களோட ஆடியோ அண்ட் வீடியோவை நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். பிகாஸ் ஐ மேட் யூ ஹோஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஸோ அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு யூ கேன் ஷேர் யுவர் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். சரண்யா, உங்களோட ஆடியோ அண்ட் வீடியோவை அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நீங்க பண்ணிட்டு நீங்க அப்படியே நீங்க பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாம்.
Hi all, good morning. Hope you're all very busy with the preliminary preparation as there are only 45 days more for you to start appearing for your examinations. So it's good that you have all come to this session despite your hectic preparation for the preliminary examinations. Um, let me keep the session as simple as possible and as quick as possible. Let us finish a number of questions which you will be having in your mind with regards to the preliminary preparations in particular. You can also put forth your questions with respect to geography optionals or your mains preparation or your interview preparation. You can ask me about any kind of any preparation stages in the UPSC examinations. You can put your questions in your in the chat, and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible in the short duration. So before that, let me tell you shortly about myself. I'm Saranya Ramachandran. With the All India Rank 36 in the UPSC Civil Services Examinations 2019. My preparation has been so long with about 4 years. I graduated in the year 2015, and since then I have been appearing for the civil services examination. In 2016 was my first attempt, and in the very first attempt, as many of you might have done, I was not very sure of how to prepare. I actually knew that the preparation is not really sufficient, but I just appeared for the examination to see if I'm to just check where I am with respect to the preparation. But I just managed to pass through the preliminary, the main stages, and also I appeared for the interview, but I did not get through the interview stage. It is at this stage, I would say, my preparation truly started after getting into the first interview. I really got a lot of exposure and then a lot of support from my friends. So from then on, my preparation took off really well. So in 2017, I took my second attempt, and again, there was actually a shortage of time. So between the interview results and the preliminary, we just had 15 days. So it was kind of very hard for me to prepare, and I again failed in 2017, reaching till the stage of interview. So this is my third time I reached the interview stage, and this time after a lot of struggles, I managed to clear the examination successfully. And Monikandan sir has been very much a part of my preparation. He helped me throughout with respect to geography. I had written twice test series with Monikandan sir, and I also underwent crash course for geography. Sir was always available with respect to all the doubts I had. He used to clarify it anytime possible. He used to share all his books with me. So sir was kind of the strength for me in geography. So kindly post your questions so we can go through the questions one by one. I think that would be more beneficial for you because as the prelims is closer, you may have certain questions which you would like to ask from people who have already cleared. So make sure you put your questions very concisely, and also make sure that the questions are useful for as many aspirants as possible. So those of you who have your questions, you can or unmute and ask your questions so that all other participants can hear, or you put it in the chat box. Yes, the first question is note making really necessary? If so, for what subjects? This is the first question that has been put forth. Um, with respect to preliminary examination, I don't think note making is really necessary. You can go on reading your subject books, maybe whatever is really very necessary you can highlight them during your first reading, and then during your subsequent readings you can go on revising them. With respect to the mains preparation, a lot of note making would be very essential, because in the final stages of the preparation for your mains examination you can't keep going through the books completely again and again. You can't also go through your current affairs material or your newspapers or your editorials again and again. In this case your note making will be really very helpful. One thing where note making was so much useful for me is with respect to the newspaper and current affairs part. Whatever I saw that can be very useful with respect to GS 1, 2, 3, 4 or essay or geography from the newspaper, current affairs or magazines, I took a short note of it and made sure that I stored them in OneNote. So I used OneNote for making digital notes. So that was really very helpful with respect to my mains preparation. Also with respect to the interview preparation, note making is very helpful. So the second question is, ma'am, how to use this 45 days usefully? Very appropriate question for those who are to appear for the preliminary examinations. So you have just 45 days left. I would just share with you what I did during the last 45 days of my preliminary preparation in 2019. Um, so for the first 15 days of your 45 days, what I did was I put a complete schedule and I revised all the conventional subjects like polity, history, art and culture, your environment, and all these subjects. I just made sure that I revised all the sources once again in this 15 days. And I just saw that I was taking a mock test for about 2 or 3 days once. So I was going on reading at the same time I took mock test. In this duration of time I did not take any subject wise question papers. I took only full test. During the next 30 days, that is after your first 15 days are over, during the last month of the preparation, I saw that I just got ready every day as if I'm getting ready for the preliminary examination. So every day I used to wake up early in the morning, and I make sure that I get freshened up quickly. I had my yoga sessions. I finished this getting ready for the examination. Like you have your shower, you have your food, all before 8 a.m. in the morning. And I made sure that every day between 9 and 11, I practiced a mock test. So this was like, I just saw myself appearing for the preliminary examination in the entire 30 days before the preliminary examination. So it kind of helped me like between 9 and 11 a.m. when every day I took the test. I just saw that I'm taking the preliminary examination every day. So on the day of the preliminary examination, you always remain stress free because you have been used to the routine almost for an entire month. And also between 9 and 11 now your mind becomes very fresh and it is very ready to take up the test. So this was my 40 days schedule 45 days schedule before the preliminary examination. I would also suggest you to do the same, and make sure the mock test you take is from different institutions. You take up mock test of various institutions that provide IAS examination preparation for, because when you take up questions of different institution you get exposed to different kinds of question pattern set. And when you go to the preliminary examination, it is kind of you have already been exposed to different kind of questions, so you do not panic. So it will help in that way. And also make sure that in the last 30 days you take up the last 5 years question papers of the UPSC civil services preliminary examination, and you also work out them. Okay. The third question is about note making strategy for geography optional. So with respect to geography, I did not make a lot of notes. I used the books to study. Maybe in some time I will share what all were my book list in my Facebook account. You can go through my post for my book list for geography optional. I made sure that I marked the important points. I kept on revising them again and again. So my conventional part was confined to a number of books and also the printed notes what Monikandan sir gives us in the class. So I confined that to the conventional areas, to books and notes given by sir. So for other parts like current affairs, like contemporary issues and all that, again I used OneNote to make notes. So in OneNote I had one page for each of the chapter in both the paper 1 and paper 2 of geography. So whatever I read regarding that, I made a small note of it in the OneNote itself. And for certain topics, you will not find proper material to read about in the conventional books which we always go through. In that cases, what I did was I used to search the topic for which I do not find proper material to study in the Google Books column of the Google search. So you will get appropriate results from the Google Books column. And you can make sure that you can take a screenshot of that portion, and that also can be stored in your OneNote. So this was my note making strategy for geography. Maybe a detailed one with images and all that. I will make sure that I put a Facebook post on that. You can follow my Facebook account to know if there are updates regarding the UPSC preliminary or mains or geography optional strategies that I share for. So the next question is, how many times you revise each subject before preliminary examination? Um, yeah, this is an important question because whatever you read, you may not be remembering until the last moment of the examination. So revising will be the important part of preparation, because unless you revise, whatever you read, it will be evaporating very quickly from your mind. So how many times to revise, it depends upon each person. For me, it was like I took to preliminary preparation only 2 months before the examination, until about say for the last preliminary examination was on May 31st. So my preliminary exam specific preparation was only limited to April and May. Before that I was preparing for both preliminary and mains together. And those days what I used to do was I used to take daily quiz of about 7 to 8 questions every day, so that I also remained in touch with the preliminary pattern. So that was how it went. I did not separate the prelims and mains preparation until then. But in the last 2 months, what I did was I prepared only for the prelim specific subjects. So this time I made sure I kept on reading them again and again. Some of the topics I revised for about 3 to 4 times, say like art and culture, environment, and all. I went through the books 2 to 3 times, sorry, 3 to 4 times. So I was able to make out the conventional portions, and whatever was from the conventional areas, I was able to do well. So the next question is, ma'am, I finished my plus 2 this year. I want to become IAS. Please give some tips. Okay. So after plus 2, it is too early for you to prepare for the examination, I would say. But if you're so serious about appearing for the examination, now I would say that you go through the newspapers every day very diligently. Follow some news of from news programs of the TV. You can also follow some of the Rajya Sabha TV programs like In Depth, Big Picture, India's World, and all that, the World Panorama. All these programs are very useful for your preparation. So you can do that in the meantime when you do your college. And also make sure that you enjoy your college life well. Don't always keep thinking about the exams and the preparation. You can do this initially, get to know about the current affairs and what is happening around you, and be open to it. Maybe you can also start preparing for your optionals. Make sure you spend enough time to go through the syllabus of different optional subjects which is possible for the examination, and you can choose your optional appropriately. And maybe you can start preparing for your optionals also. You can look the different question papers of the previous year for different subjects available, and then you can make sure you choose your optional also. So this can be the thing what you can do during your college itself, and after that you can start your preparation. So the next question is, even after preparing for so many hours, we lose school in the exam hall. How did you manage it? Yeah, this is one question which many put to me. Even people who came to home to visit me asked me about it. So many have this problem. They always perform very well until the mock examinations, but when they go to the exam hall in the real exam situation, they fail to do it. So that is what I told earlier. I was like kind of getting ready for the examination in the entire 30 days before the exams. So I was used to the routine of getting up early, um, uh, taking my shower, and also having the food very early. So, like kind of between 9 to 11 a.m., I always prepared for the exam by appearing for a mock test every day. So this was how my schedule was 30 days before the examination, and this kind of set things for me. So when I went to the exam hall, I didn't feel that it was different. So you can also have that kind of a schedule 30 days prior to your examinations. And I also had a very good schedule of working out. Like I went for jogging or cycling or walking in the evenings, and my morning time was also allotted for yoga. So yoga kind of made me very cool, composed, and whatever was upcoming for me, I was ready to face things with the support of yoga. So you can also take up certain breathing practices or yogic postures, and all that will really help you to stay cool and relieve you from stress. So the next question is, give schedule for 45 days to prelims. So we have already discussed that. I think you have to keep revising, and you have to keep revising. You have to also keep on tap the current affairs, which is happening every day through your newspapers. And you also make sure that you take a lot of mock tests. Not only taking up the mock test, one important part will be reviewing the answers which you had gone wrong in the mock test. So after doing your mock test and receiving your marks, make sure that you take up the question paper again, go through the questions which all you went wrong in, and you can see why did you go wrong in certain questions. It is not always that you go wrong because you didn't know the answer. Sometimes you go wrong because you might have not seen a word. Maybe you missed the not in the question, or maybe you missed a word incorrect or correct in the question. So all that happens. There are certain questions we go wrong because of silly missing of the words in the question, or sometimes we go wrong in guessing. Sometimes we are not good in recollecting the information what we have already studied. So you have to analyze why you went wrong in different questions, and you have to make note of different areas you are weak in. So you have to make sure when you schedule for your revision, you have to make sure that you give enough importance to the areas where you are weak in recollecting what you have already gone through. And also noting out where you go weak will help you in ensuring that in your next test you don't repeat the same mistakes again. So the next question is, ma'am, what should be the strategy for optional post prelims? How to utilize it effectively? Also give tips for improving GS marks. So this question is entirely about your mains. Maybe after your preliminary examination, we can discuss about the main strategy in very big detail. Because we have only 45 days to prelims, I would explain in detail the prelims related question, and maybe a shorter, I will try to limit the mains related questions shortly. After prelims, we shall make sure that we will meet once more and discuss the main strategy. So for this question, what should be the strategy for optional post prelims? Yeah, post. I would suggest that you should have already completed your optional once before your prelims. That will give you a lot of confidence. So even if not that, at least after the prelims, immediately you can start preparing for your mains, and particularly your optional. After prelims, I would suggest you not to give a gap of more than 2 days, because post prelims every day is very precious for you. And considering this COVID situation, it may be very random. So you do not waste any day after your prelims and you start preparing for your optional. So with respect to optional preparation, for the paper 2, your preparation part, that is your studying, revision, is all going to be very limited. What you will be preparing is only a number of case studies, examples from India, And for that, I used Geography and You magazine, Kurukshetra magazine, and also the daily newspapers. So from there, I gained a lot of contemporary and relevant examples to quote in the paper too. And also I followed the Twitter handles of a number of international organizations, ministries, and some of the NGOs, some of the environmental organizations like FAO or UNFCCC. And all this you can follow on Twitter, because they give very concise videos which are very colorful, beautiful, with a lot of illustrations. So you can get a lot of facts from them. You can also get a lot of images and kind of flow charts to quote in your paper. All that you can do. So paper 2 preparation is very interesting part. You can do that as a pastime activity. So you can go through the magazines. These magazines are really very interesting also, the Geography and You magazine and Kurukshetra. So you don't just only read it, but make a short note of it, either on your notes or on your digital platforms. So you can make a note of it and have them, so you can revise it whenever necessary. With respect to paper 1, you can start preparing from the books which you have been introduced in the classes. I will also share a book list as already told. After your prelims, kindly allot half of the time for your optional. In my case, I didn't write a lot of tests because I had recently undergone an accident and a surgery. I was not able to write a lot. So I just worked out the question papers only mentally. A lot of the exercise was done mentally. So I made sure that I took up the previous year question papers of geography optional, and I worked out them all over my mind. I will structure what kind of introduction I have to give, what the body content has to be, what kind of illustrations I can include in each question, and what kind of conclusion the kind of question which is asked in the question paper should be given with. So you can work the previous year question papers very diligently. At least the last 5-year question papers have to be worked out. So this is how you can prepare for geography optional after the preliminary examination. And with respect to giving tips for improving GS marks, so if you have been already scoring well, it means that your content is good, you really understand the question well, you are very relevant to the question asked. So on improving the GS marks after this, one important thing is you have to give good content. You have to give as many different perspectives for any question as possible. Do not limit your perspectives to 2 or 3. If it is a 10-mark question, try to give at least 6 to 7 different points. And it's not only about points, try to justify and substantiate any point you give with examples, be it GS2, GS1, or anything. Try to give lot of examples and substantiate them. That will add value to the point you give. And if it is a 15-mark question, make sure you give at least 9 or 10 points, again with the examples, as many examples as possible. Make sure the presentation of the paper is also neat, like giving space in between the paragraphs, and making a box for your diagram, making a flow chart for your diagram, and all that you can do. Also make sure the vocabulary is very rich. Rich vocabulary does not mean that you have to use difficult to know words, you have to give jargons of different subjects. It's not like that. But try to give a formal language in the paper. You don't write as you speak. Try to write in a language like it is given in an NCERT book or a newspaper article, so that it appears very formal, very professional. This will add a lot of marks to your paper. So with respect to tips for improving the GS marks, again, I will try to write a post on Facebook. I will write a detailed strategy about it. So let me go to the next question now. Um, Please share the source list for general studies. Yes, I think this can't be answered now. I'll make sure that I write a post about it. So the next question is book list for GS MAM. So this also I'll make sure I post it on Facebook. A very detailed and exhaustive list I'll make it. You can also get to know the book list from many other toppers who have posted their videos, who have made their blogs. I also used a lot of the toppers videos and book list to confine my books and all that. But when you see 2 or 3 different toppers videos or toppers source, don't keep on changing them. Watch them all, but make sure you develop your own strategy, you develop your own book list to confine with. So next question is, ma'am, which current affairs material you used? So with respect to current affairs, I did not follow any particular material. My current affairs strategy was very varied from how it is generally done. I did not follow any yearly compilation or monthly compilation and all that. One thing I stuck on to very well was the newspaper reading every day. I did not only read the newspaper. Whenever I read the newspaper, I made sure if I read some kind of a news, I saw where it could fit in with respect to GS 1, 2, 3, or 4 or essay. Whatever I felt was a very good example to quote in GS 4 or in essay or in GS 2 or GS 3, I just made sure I put them in my OneNote every day. This added a very rich material which I could revise during the mains preparation in particular. One was this newspaper. The second thing was the RSTV shows like In Depth, Big Picture, and India's World. All this also really helped me to prepare for my current affairs. And again, I have written a post about this on Facebook, how I prepared current affairs. It is very exhaustive. You can go through that. So, ma'am, what should be the strategy for optional post prelims? How to utilize time effectively? Yes, I think I've answered this question. So next is, ma'am, how to revise the current affairs for this attempt, because this year nearly 15-month current affairs is there. Yes, I understand your concern. There are a lot of months current affairs to revise. Um, But you know, the current affairs is almost limited to COVID situation, so you should be happy about that, though there are 15 months. So yes, how to revise the current affairs? If you are the kind of person who follows the monthly compilations of any of the institutes, you can go with that. I wouldn't suggest doing only the compilation of one institute, maybe two institutes you can take up. But I never went for compilations. It was the newspapers, the magazines, the TV shows that I stuck to that really helped me. Uh, so you can prepare via the compilations, or also you, if you have your own notes prepared daily, you can use that. And one other part from where you can prepare is if you work out a lot of mock tests which a number of institutes put for free when the prelims is closer, you can see that a lot of your current affairs is also covered in the different questions from which you can learn. I learned current affairs that way in whatever mock I went through. The questions which were there, I kind of try to guess. But when the question is from current affairs, mostly I made sure that I took a screenshot of the explanation or the question, and I made it a part of my OneNote compilation. So from there, I got a lot of material for current affairs to revise right there from the question paper. So it was like I kind of revised the questions which I practiced, and it was also like learning a current affair part. So you can also follow that if possible. So the next question is, ma'am, how did you handle the mental lows in preparation process? I've been struggling to deal with it. Share your interview experience regarding hobbies section. Okay, so about the mental lows in preparation process, definitely when there are setbacks in your family situation, or when you fail in examination, or when you prepare well but marks are not as expected, you may have some kind of mental lows during the preparation process. Um, but always keep one thing in mind: your mental lows are never going to help you in the preparation process. Then why let it so closer to you? So you already know that your mental lows are not at all going to help you. So try to be inspired from within yourself. Don't seek for motivation outside. So how I managed that was, okay, I'm sorry. So how I managed that was, as I already told you, I'm a regular yoga practitioner right from my 12th standard. So I underwent difficult circumstances right from my school ages. So my father put me into a yoga session, and that kind of taught me a lot of self development and self management. I always remained inspired despite continuous failures in the examination. I was truly inspired from within, and I was motivated from within also. Maybe you can also undergo the same. some yoga sessions, or you can also take up some physical activities like jogging, cycling, or running, so that you work out physically well, you can sleep well. Naturally, if you sleep well and have a good rest, you will not be going through the mental lows, I guess. And you can also read many inspirational quotes, inspirational books. You can see the videos of toppers, you can see the training session videos in Labasana, and all that to keep yourself motivated. If you see the Bharat Darshan videos of the toppers who go for the training session, you can see yourselves being there sometime, and that will motivate you to be into the process again and take up the preparation. Many have different strategies to deal with. One thing that engaged me for the last 1.5 years was gardening. So I grew up a lot of plants. So whenever new plants sorry, not new plants, whenever there was a new leaf or a new flower, that used to excite me so much, and that kept me very enthusiastic. I always spent a lot of time with plants. It's not that you follow the same thing, you can have your own kind of extracurricular activity other than only preparation. You can do something else also, be it playing a sport. You can also go for playing badminton or football every day. You can do that. Make sure you also work out physically well, because that will keep you very strong both physically and mentally also. So the next part of the question, share your interview experience regarding the hobbies section. So my hobbies was, one is practicing yoga, and another was about Ari and Zardosi embroidery, and another was listening to a lot of classical music, that is both Hindustani and Carnatic music. Um, yeah, I had certain questions from the hobbies section. One was with respect to Patanjali in yoga, so I explained about that. um, the next question was about yeah, monetizing my embroidery articles, and what I thought about child labor in handicrafts and handlooms. So I had these kind of questions from my hobby section in my interview. I was very well prepared with respect to hobby section. It was not only about preparing, I was really doing my hobby. So it kind of helped me just sail through it seamlessly. So the next question is ethics source. Okay. Ethics is one part of general studies where you can score very high even if you can allot only a small time for preparation. Generally, we can see that ethics is not well prepared by the aspirants, but you can but when you read, you will find that preparing the ethics portion not only helps you score well, but it will help you also to develop yourself as a person. So what I read was the ARC reports. I went through the second ARC reports entirely, all the ARC reports, particularly the Indian philosophy part of the second ARC report was truly very helpful. It's not only about reading through the concepts. You can make use of the terms, the Sanskrit terms of the Indian philosophy in your answers. This will help you score well. And also when you read them again and again, you can also imbibe the values within you, like Nishkam Karma, where you do your duty without expecting the fruits. So many of the concepts, you can also take them in spirit, and you can implement it during your exam preparation itself. So the second ARC part was one main source which I read thoroughly. The other areas, the other books, what I took to was lexicon for some concepts. I didn't go through the book in entirety, but I ensured that some concepts I read from lexicon book. And there was another book, Ethics, Integrity, Aptitude by Vivekanand IRS. I made sure I also went through it once, so that I have some conceptual clarity. And one important lecture video is Harvard Ethics. You can find them in YouTube for free. It is a series of lectures. Each lecture goes for about 40 to 50 minutes. It's not really very useful to learn, but when you see the videos, you can understand how to write an ethics answer. It's just about the language used. It's about how to explain the ethical concepts. So maybe if you have time, you can watch these videos in your free or break times. So the next question is, which engineering did you do, ma'am? So mine was BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from the Pondicherry Engineering College. So I don't know how it is relevant for your preparation. So next question is, ma'am, tell us about your interview experience. So as I've already told, I appeared for the interview in 2016, 2017, and 2019. So all the three times, I had a very pleasant experience at interview. It is just like how you speak to the elders of your family. You always maintain a kind of respect, but also a kind of warm and welcoming attitude, right? It's the same attitude you maintain in your interview. And the people at the interview panel were also very cordial, very much welcoming. They made you comfortable. They ensured that we are well seated, we have our nerves well, and only then they start their interaction with us. So it's a very pleasant interview. I would say I enjoyed the interview process, the interview preparation phase also very much. Maybe once you come to the interview preparation phase, you will also understand it's the best part of the UPSC preparation. So more about interview, I'll tell you after your preliminary examinations or maybe your mains examination also. We'll make sure that we interact once again. So the next question is, please tell how to start preparing, because this is my first try. Okay. Now that we have only 45 days, I've already told you what to do in the 45 days. Don't skip your mock test just because you have not completed your syllabus or you have not completed preparing the books from which you plan to prepare. Don't do that. Start taking mock test right away. Now maybe you can limit your mock test to once in 3 or 2 days. But when your days to prelims are closer, say it is 30 or 25 days, make sure you take a mock test every day. It's not only about taking test, it's also reviewing your progress. It's also seeing where you commit the error, and also making sure you don't commit the same kind of error again and again repeatedly. So this is where your reviewing the errors in the test will help you. Yeah, so you can prepare for your prelims this way. So if you are not going to write it this time, if you're writing it the next time, make sure you prepare for prelims and mains together for some months, and then prepare exclusively for prelims only when prelims is closer, say maybe 3 months. Until then, you can prepare for both your prelims and mains. Make sure you practice your daily answer writing. Even if not now, post your prelims, you can start your daily answer writing sections. That will help you. Again, it's not only about writing, it is also about reviewing your answers. Reviewing your answers you write, you can go for any institution to get it reviewed, or you can also self review it, take the help of your friends and do that. So your daily answer writing part plays a very crucial role in mains preparation. Other than that, you can also prepare you can join any kind of test series put by different institutions, and you can also keep preparing with respect to the syllabus that is allotted for each test. So this is how you can do initially. Yeah, if there are any more questions, you can kindly put it in the chat box. I think I've completed them all. For all those questions like book list or different strategies, I'll make sure that I put a post in my Facebook account where you can surely check it after a few days. I'll ensure that I post for all the questions posted here. So if there are any more questions. Yeah, ma'am, I finished reading Polity Lakshmikant 4 times. It's okay for exam, or how many times should I study polity, ma'am? Yeah, as I already told you, it is about the individual capacity. Some can retain it reading only 2 times. Some may not retain it even reading 4 times. And it's not only about reading, it's about how much concentration or how much focus you have for each detail. You can just check where you stand with respect to polity. You can work out the subject-wise tests which is put forth by different institutions. You can collect the polity question papers separately, and you can work them out. You can check if if you're able to do the static questions from the polity section very well. And for the last 2 3 years, the polity questions have been very tricky. You might have known. You can also check the polity questions which appeared in the previous years, and you can check if you are able to exactly land at the answer. So this is how you can know if you need a lot more revision with respect to polity. So the next question is, did you attend coaching or self preparation? Yeah, okay. Initially, I went for classes. In my the first year I appeared, 2016, was after an extensive class between 2015 and 16. So I would say it was the coaching classes were not really entirely useful. It is about self preparation and reviewing, self analyzing, going to the attending different tests, the both prelims and mains, and then self evaluating them. Also getting feedbacks of your mentors. That was truly very very helpful for me. Yeah, kindly give your contact mail ID, ma'am. Yeah, for sure I'll put a message in this chat box. I'll type my email ID here. So the next question is, ma'am, I'm focusing on both UPSC and TNPSC. What is similar and what is different? Okay, I did not really prepare for TNPSC, so I'm not very well aware about the TNPSC syllabus, the tests and patterns and all that. I only prepared for UPSC examination. I did not appear for any other examinations. So I may not be the appropriate person to answer for this question. But from what I heard from my friends, mm, the TNPSC Group 1 had recently announced a different syllabus, particularly the Group 1. So they told me that it is very much similar to UPSC. So from what I heard, I thought that it will be also useful for UPSC students to appear for TNPSC without any exclusive preparation. So I may not be very right on this. Please check out with other people also. So which monthly compilation is better for current affairs is the next question. So yeah, I did not go for compilations with respect to current affairs. But I saw the daily current affairs of IAS Baba, which was called as Babapedia. It was part of the ILP program. So mostly I saw the Babapedia daily, not exactly daily. I ensured that I saw that as often as possible. So that helped me really well. Maybe my friends used to go through the monthly compilations of Vision, particularly. They told me that it is of a very good quality. These days, there are a number of institutions which give you monthly compilations. Maybe you can, whenever you choose a source, you can cross check with the other source also and see that if whatever is covered in one source, some may be left out in the other sources. So I would suggest you go for two sources so that you complete them thoroughly. Um, so the next question is, ma'am, shall I follow you in Instagram because I'm not using Facebook? Okay, I'm sorry to say I'm not on Instagram. Maybe I'll try to also put the post there. Maybe I'll form an account and put the post there. So the next question is, can we watch video of daily editorial analysis? So I have not really watched videos of daily editorial analysis. I use the Civil's daily editorial compilations. Sometimes I also saw the editorials which are very much valuable or general every day are compiled and put in the Civil's daily website. So I use them. The editorials of Live Mint, Indian Express, and Hindustan Times, various other papers are put. So I did not do it daily, but most often I saw the different editorials. I also use the editorial compilations of Civil's daily. That was truly very helpful for me. I am not very sure about the quality of the daily editorial analysis. So since I read through the editorials, it was also very easy for me to take up notes and then maintain it in the OneNote. So the next question, ma'am, how did you prepare for CSAT? Yeah, so I realize the importance of this question, provided you have prelims so closer. But I'm very frank, and I would like to tell you that I did not prepare for CSAT at all. I did not even take up a single paper and work it out before my prelims preparation. It was directly there that I appeared for the CSAT examination. Maybe in the only after the morning GS paper, the meantime where we have nearly 2 hours, I used to just see the formula and recollect them for working out the general aptitude part. So it was like I didn't prepare for CSAT at all. But I suggest you don't take the risk. Don't definitely don't take the risk, because some of my friends also who had very comfortable score in the GS paper failed because they couldn't clear the cutoff in CSAT examinations. Maybe you can take 2 or 3 mock tests in CSAT also before you go for the preliminary examinations, and make sure that you can work well in the reading comprehension part, because it is here that many candidates lose marks. And also the CSAT paper these days tends to have a lot of reading comprehension part, which is also becoming a very tricky part to work out. So you can take up the last 5 years questions of CSAT paper and also work them out. You may also have the key released already, so you can check them with that. um, so the next question is how to use Google Books, ma'am. You said you will type some topics in Google. Can you brief about it? Yeah, sure. This part is truly useful. So in the Google column, when you generally search, it search the internet. You just have another tab called Books. So when you click on that and then you search it, you can get results of books which are available digitally. So for whatever topics you do not have any kind of notes, say for example the racial classification part in your geography, or maybe the environmental impact assessment, so you can just type the topics and search in the books part of Google search. So when you search that, you will get the book results of Google alone. So from there you can filter which kind of book you want. You can also maximize the size. You can magnify the book pages and then you can take a screenshot. So the next question is, ma'am, whether economic survey is important for prelims, how to read it, ma'am? Um, yes, economic survey is very important both for prelims and mains. The statistics given there, it will not be actually directly very helpful. They may not ask you the exact values to. They may not ask you like what is the GDP growth rate or what was the maximum item exported. There won't be direct questions, but you kind of knowing the data will help you in predicting the series, or in predicting the chronology of events happening, or in predicting what kind of material was exported in large quantities, or how has been the export of a particular product in the last few years. So all this can be predicted. So it may be directly helpful in eliminating certain options in the preliminary examinations. With respect to how to read it, um, so now you may not have enough time to read through the entire economic survey. So just go through a short compilation given by any of the institute. Sometimes Vision or Shankara Academy, any of these academy gives a very good compilation of economic survey. You can go through them and you can get to know. So they give a very short compilation. It is actually sufficient for your preliminary examination. And even in the mains examination, if you're able to quote concepts from economic survey, not necessarily the economic survey of this year alone, it may be the economic survey of the previous year or even the year before that. So if you can quote that, it is going to be truly helpful and it's going to be a value addition in your answer. So how to read art and culture, ma'am? Um, yeah, art and culture is a very extensive area, and maybe sometimes you have questions or sometimes there are no questions at all. So this is like kind of an area where you have to invest a lot, but you cannot expect the return. So maybe like polity or environment, you read, you will have a question, but it's not the case in art and culture, both in preliminary and main. But with respect to me, I really loved the art and culture section. So it was a passion for me to read about art and culture. I had different sources to read, like the NIOS material. It is very useful both for your preliminary and mains. And also there are 3 NCRTs for art and culture, which you can go through. those are also very much illustrated, and it helps a lot in reading. So if you have problem retaining about the facts, or the kind of explanations given for different art forms or different dances and all that, you can also watch YouTube videos, so that you can have your visual memory intact, and that will help you in answering the art and culture portion. The next question is how to read maps. So if you are for geography optional, there is one book called Geography Through Maps, that will help you with respect to both the Indian maps and the world maps. Um, yeah, I think with respect to my geography strategy, I'll cover the maps portion also in my Facebook post. So the next question is, ma'am, what is the fallback carrier option when there comes a time where the best of me is given? Okay, so why so much of doubt and skepticism about your success? I don't think you have to take this in mind now. Your prelims is closer. Don't think about failing. And only when you have thoughts about failing, you have thoughts about fallback career option. I don't say that it's a bad idea to think about all that, but this is not an appropriate time to think of your fallback career options. Just keep preparing well, keep your spirits high. Never think of failing or passing. Just do whatever is possible for you to do well in a very spirited manner. Now, definitely don't think about fallback career option, but as you have asked me, there are a number of fallback career options for UPSC aspirants, provided that you have involved yourselves in preparing. These days, if you can appear till the interview stage, there are also calls from the public sector units who call for UPSC aspirants who appear till the interview stages to apply for certain post. This is also an option. And why choose a career? You can become a business person. Okay. Yeah. We'll go for the next question. Ma'am, for art and culture, NIT, okay, Nitin Singhania book is enough. I'm sorry to say this, I have never gone through the book, I have never used it, but a lot of people quote this as their source, so maybe that is enough, but I have never gone through that. So the next question, ma'am, can I use Tamil Nadu history book for ancient and medieval India, whether it is sufficient for prelims? Yeah, again, I have not gone through the ancient and medieval portion from Tamil Nadu history books. Maybe it is sufficient. You can just check it with the syllabus which is given for preliminary examination and see that if it is able to cover, or you can also go through the previous year question papers and see that if you are able to answer them correctly with what knowledge you have gained from these books. If they are not if you are not able to answer them, or if you are not able to guess them, it means that it is not going to be a sufficient source. So with respect to ancient and medieval India, NCERT is very extensive, and I read in particular the 6th, 7th and the it is so simple and it is very clear, so you can go for that also. uh, yeah, I think all the questions are over. Are there any more questions? Okay, all the questions are over, I think. Yeah, there is one more question. Ma'am, is budget important? Yes, budget is also very important. You will have a lot of new concepts put there, so you can use them as a part of your mains answers. Kind of new policies, the new proposals which comes. There are many innovative proposals in every budget. Only some of them are implemented on ground, but you can put them as your suggestions and as the way forward in your answers. So that is very helpful. And also there are certain statistics which is talked about in budget that may also be helpful in your prelims. So there is one more question. Can you share your daily routine, ma'am? The amount of hours you allocate for studies? Yeah, okay. The daily routine is not going to be always static. I keep changing routine. Until prelims, I follow a particular kind of routine. After mains, I means after the prelims, I follow a particular kind of routine for preparing for my um, mains, and after the mains it again changes for the interview. So how with what as the basis I change the routine is with respect to the time when you appear for the exam. So the time is between 9 and 11 for prelims. For mains it is between 9 and 12 and 2 to 5. And for the interview, it is about the session. Either you have a morning session or you have an afternoon session. So I ensure that I always keep that time when I am going to appear for the exam very, very active. So I practice the prelim test only between 9 and 11. I practice the main test either between 9 to 12 or between 2 to 5. So during my mains preparation, I ensure that I never doze off in these times, or I try to keep myself very active, and a kind of mind has to be kept very free and always ready to take up the exams this time. So with this as the basis I form my routine. So I'm a kind of early bird. I wake up early in the morning. So my morning routine always has yoga. So after yoga, I go for my shower and food, and then I start my preparation. So even before yoga, if I get up at 5 or 5:30, I start preparing for some time. Only after getting tired, I go for yoga. Kind of for preliminary, I used to constantly prepare for about 6 to 10 hours. And when it is closer, say about 1 month or about 20 days, the preparation extends to about 15 or 12 to, say, it may be 15 or 16 hours a day it goes on. So this is how I prepare. Generally, I don't take a long gap in the daytime. Maybe if I feel really very tired, I sleep for about half an hour in the afternoon, and I again start preparing in the afternoon. So it's like that. I also have daily answer writing as a part of my preparation. So at about 12 o'clock, I used to write the answers, and I also used to evaluate them. And during mains time, the preparation stretches a little more. Um, it takes about 10 to 12 hours even on the normal days, and when exam is closer, it becomes up to 16 to 17 hours. So in on every day, I also allot time for reviewing my preparation. I schedule, I reschedule. Sometimes there are portions allotted for checking if the answers I write are improving or not, or if the suggestions given by my mentors, am I implementing it or not, all that I see. And whatever suggestions are given by my mentor, before writing the answers for the next day, I just close my eyes and then I reinforce it to myself. All these suggestions were given, and I have to try to implement them on the paper. So this kind of routine was always there. Maybe again, I can write a very detailed post on this. So yeah, the next question. Ma'am, regarding complete mains paper in 3 hours. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand how difficult this is. In my first two attempts, I was not able to really complete the paper on time. I left nearly two questions in almost every paper in my first and second mains. So now you can understand why I failed in the first and the second mains. Sorry, first and the second attempt. I actually passed through the mains examination. It was in the interview that I couldn't clear. Um, so yes, you have to complete all the questions. You have to also ensure that you allot enough time for every question. It is not that you overdo the first part of the question paper and then you allot a very little time for the second part of the question paper. If your quality of answer keeps on degrading, that's not going to give a very good opinion to the evaluator. It is not only about the answer you write. You just showcase in the paper that you are a very competent person to become an administrator in the nation. So you have to showcase the quality of you being a very good time manager. So that is how the time management on your paper plays an important role. With respect to this, in order to change this kind of a detriment what I faced was that I took up answer writing every day. I stuck to the time in this attempt, and then I almost from about November in 2018 I started answer writing. I kept on writing them. Just 30 days before prelims I stopped answer writing. Until then I was writing, and even after prelims I started doing answer writing every day. So this kind of helped me improve my answer and also improve the speed of, it's not about the speed of writing, it's about actually the speed of you thinking the answer. So that naturally comes with you working out the answers regularly. So I think there are, okay, there is one more question. Which previous year question bank is good, ma'am? Okay, I did not go for any question bank. I just downloaded the question papers which were available online in UPSC websites. These are available, or with the institutes also these are available. You can go for them. I don't think you have to invest in buying a question bank. Okay. What is your advice on service preference, ma'am? Okay, all these questions I think we can talk on after the prelims or after the mains examination. If there are any specific prelims related question that is yet to be answered, you can ask me. So are there any more questions? So since the time is close to prelims, I think that would be more appropriate to talk about now. I assure you that we will also connect once more after the prelims examination to talk of the mains. There is one more message congratulating me. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, I think all the questions are done. So thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to interact with you all. Yeah, I will type my email ID now. If there are any further questions, you can kindly post it to me. I'll try to write a detailed post about that. And you can see my Facebook post so that you get details about the books, the book list, or kind of different strategies and all that. I'll try to answer them all. Thank you so much, and thanks to Manikandan sir for providing me a lot of good content to write in geography. I would truly say that Sir's crash course and Sir's test series was truly very helpful for me to do my geography part very well. Maybe after my mark sheets come, I will also share with you how I worked upon geography. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sharanya. Thank you. Friends, ஸோ இந்த செஷன் உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருந்திருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். யூ மைட் ஹவ் யூஸ்ட் த டைம் வேல்யூபிள். ஸோ அவங்க ஆல்மோஸ்ட் நமக்கு என்ன டவுட்ஸ் வருதோ டூரிங் அந்த பார்ட் ஆஃப் டூரிங் த ஃபேஸ் ஆஃப் ப்ரிலிமினரி அஸ் வெல் அஸ் மெயின்ஸ், இதுல எல்லாம் நிறைய டவுட்ஸ் நமக்கு கிளியர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ இது வந்து இந்த ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜியை நீங்க அக்வயர் பண்ணி உங்களோட வாழ்க்கையில உங்களோட ட்ரீம்ஸ் அண்ட் கோல்ஸை நீங்க வந்து அட்டைன் பண்றதுக்கு நான் வந்து ரொம்ப வாழ்த்துகிறேன். ஸோ லெட் மீ ஒன்ஸ் அகெயின் கங்க்ராச்சுலேட் ஷரண்யா. ஸோ அண்ட் தேங்க்ஸ் டு ஷரண்யா. ஸோ இதோட இந்த செஷன் நிறைவு பெறுகிறது. ஸோ இதை இவங்க சொன்ன விஷயங்களை நீங்கள் உங்கள் மனதில் வைத்து நிறுத்தி கொண்டு ஸோ இந்த ப்ரிலிமினரிக்கு நீங்கள் ரொம்ப கடினமாக ஒர்க் பண்ணுங்க. ஸோ தட் யூ கேன் கிராக் த ப்ரிலிமினரி. தென் வி வில் மீட் வித் ஈச் அதர் ஃபார் கிராக்கிங் த மெயின்ஸ். ஏன்னா மெயின்ஸுக்கு நீங்கள் வந்து எப்படி ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணணுன்ற ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜியை நீங்கள் வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்குவீங்க. ஸோ அது நீங்கள் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறப்போ அடுத்தது வந்து உங்களுக்கு இன்டர்வியூ ஃபேஸ். ஏன்னா அதுலேயும் நீங்கள் வந்து மெயின்ஸ் கிராக் பண்ணீங்கன்னா இன்டர்வியூ, ஏன்னா அதுலேயும் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். ஸோ வென் ஆல் த ஃபேஸஸ் கம்ஸ் டு அன் எண்ட், ஆல் த ஃபேஸஸ் கம் டு அன் எண்ட், ஏன்னா நீங்கள் அப்போது உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபுல்லாக யூ வில் பிகம் அன் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேட்டர். ஏன்னா நீங்கள் ஒரு நிர்வாகியாக மாறக்கூடிய தகுதி வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்துடும். ஸோ இதோட இந்த செஷன் நிறைவு பெறுகிறது. ஸோ நன்றி, வணக்கம். ஏன்னா அனைத்து பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸுக்கும் என்னோட மனமார்ந்த வாழ்த்துக்கள். ஸோ இந்த ப்ரிலிமினரி கிளியர் பண்ணி, மெயின்ஸ் கிளியர் பண்ணி, நீங்கள் இன்டர்வியூ சக்ஸஸ் பண்ணி கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் யூபிஎஸ்சியில் டாப்பராக வரணும்னு என்னோட வாழ்த்துக்கள். ஸோ தேங்க்ஸ் காட்.